What's up, YouTube? In this video, we're going to analyze Novak Djokovic's double-handed backhand. So let's get into this. We're now going to break down Novak's backhand and we're going to look at the preparation phase. In this first phase, we're going to break it into racket work and we're going to break it into body work. Racket work is quite simple. His racket starts out in front of him. As the ball comes in, he takes the racket back in a very small loop behind him and he gets the racket head behind the body. Nice, short, simple preparation with the racket. Now let's look at the body work. We can see in the video he is in a ready position. He's got his racket head in front of him, racket head up. He's got his knees bent. He's at a good athletic height. His feet are shoulder width apart. He is ready to play. As the ball comes in, he will take the racket back around waist height. So his hands stay in and around the waist. Small, simple take back we talked about before. And his hands stay on the chest side. So he doesn't take his hands all the way behind the body, which is a common mistake most players do. They over rotate. They bring their racket back far too much. And what happens there is they will then swing their racket far too quickly through the ball. He keeps the racket out on chest side. And that way, when we look at the hitting phase later on, you'll see how he accelerates the racket through contact. He doesn't speed it up too early. Let's also now look at how he uses his body to prepare. So as the ball comes into the backhand, he turns his hips and shoulders towards the ball. He transfers his weight onto the back foot. And you can see that by the weight here being fully loaded on the back foot. The front foot is slightly up. So all his weight is down this leg. So all his weight is down the leg. He's got a nice wide base. And as he hits the shot, he's breathing throughout. He's nice and relaxed. He's nice and smooth. So just before we analyze the hitting phase, if you are finding value in this video, do me a huge favor, smash that like button, please subscribe to the channel. So now on to phase two, the hitting phase. So watch how he takes his racket back. He'll drop his racket head below the height of the ball and then have a low to high swing up the back of the ball, generating a topspin, which we all know and love. You'll also notice how he takes his racket back. He'll drop the hands and the racket below the ball, and he really starts to speed up just before contact. A really good tennis player, and I know Louis Kay says this quite a lot in a lot of his coaching, is a shot almost starts on contact. So he doesn't start to accelerate the racket far too early. He will have a very slow rhythm into the ball. He'll make contact, and then the racket speeds up. So again, a big common mistake a lot of players make is they go too quick too soon. But if you're watching Novak here, he's very controlled, nice early take back. He'll start to move his racket towards the ball. Once he makes contact with the ball, that's when he starts to speed the racket up. Now let's really focus on the contact point. So he'll make contact in front of both hips, out to the side, and definitely in front of the body. All the best players in the world will make contact in front of their shoes. A lot of beginners and even intermediate players will make contact in line with the shoes or even behind the body. By hitting the ball out in front, one, he will maintain his balance, but two, he is then able to accelerate the racket through the ball. If he hits the ball late, he can't have that acceleration. So the contact point is all about timing, and that then ties into the preparation phase, which we looked at before. Because he prepares so early, he can get his racket back nice and early, and then he can make sure he times that ball in front of the hips. And the contact point is in and around the waist. And the last point I'd like to make in terms of the racket work is look how he keeps the racket on the ball side of the body, the backhand side of the body, for quite a long time. He only really pulls it across the shoulder after the contact. He doesn't pull too soon across the body. Again, a lot of players and a lot of coaches teach to finish really high, but you'll see how he extends his racket down the court and then naturally will then bring it over the opposite shoulder. He doesn't pull the racket across the body. He extends out and then finishes high. Okay, so now let's look at the body work and the footwork. So looking at the clip, you can see how he transfers his weight from heel to toe with extension upwards on both knees onto the front leg. And you can see the tip stance or the heel to toe action just as he prepares here. Weight on the back foot, and he'll transfer his weight from his heel into his toe. And you can see that by the back foot lifting up at the end, pretty much like a golfer. His back knee and back hip then turns towards the net. So he's got that rotation. So here we go, knees out, and then knees go forwards towards the net. And it's not only the knees that are turning in towards the net, but also if you look at his hips and shoulders, as he prepares here, as he goes through the hitting phase, he will then rotate towards the net with both hips and shoulders. He's also got very stable wrist through contact. He doesn't flick the wrist to try and generate spin. Again, a very common mistake players make. His head is nice and stable. He's nice and balanced. And again, he's breathing out throughout the shot. He's nice and relaxed. He's not tense. He's not holding his breath. He's nice and smooth. He's nice and fluid. And now, last but not least, onto the recovery. So once the ball leaves, what am I looking for in terms of coaching him? If I was lucky enough, is the racket finishes on the opposite side of the body. Like we mentioned in the hitting phase, he keeps his hands on his racket on the ball side for a long time, but then he finishes nice and high over the opposite shoulder on the opposite side of the body. And he gets back into the ready position pretty quick as well. He doesn't wait around all day. So he'll play the shot, he'll extend his arms out, then he opens his shoulders back up, he goes back into that natural ready position. In terms of footwork and body work, he'll probably do a little shuffle step to push back into position. Again, he's only practicing here, so it's very difficult to see what tactical intention and stuff he's doing. He would probably recover to a dominant court position or a defensive court position, depending on the ball that he's sending over. And there we have it. Did I miss anything? Leave it in the comments down below. Anything that you may have spotted during the video and the analysis. If you have found value in the video, please hit that like button, subscribe, watch one of my other videos, and until next time, I'll see you soon.